In this video, I want to talk about why less is more and to also be careful what you wish for. With that said, let's get on with the video. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're located. This is Rick, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about how I view less being more and how a person should be very cautious about what they wish for. Before I get into the video, though, I want to thank all of the new subscribers. I want to thank people that are giving comments. I really appreciate it, you guys. It's been a very positive experience for me. And keep it up, share the videos. Do the same thing I always say, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. It really helps me out and I appreciate it. So with that out of the way, what I was thinking about was, when I was thinking of different topics about how less is more, I spent the majority of my life trying to always obtain items. And I think a lot of us all do that. We try to, and it's a positive thing. You're supposed to have a good work ethic, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think people should have a positive work ethic. But the thing is what are you working for? What are you working towards? Can you, if you think about it, you sit back and you'll go in and just bust your hump and just work and work and work to buy like 2 or 3 cars. You pay the insurance on those. You maybe got a motorcycle, maybe you've got a bigger house, and then you sell and you get another job that's making even more money. So what do? You go, you take out another 30-year loan. Think about this, guys, 30 years of your life. 30 years of your life. And if you're 25 or 30 when you do it, you do the math. I mean, you're talking about socking yourself in, especially with today's interest rates, at some of these payments that can just be astronomical for 30 years. So if I haven't stressed out enough to get on your nerves, let's go ahead and move forward. It just shocks me when I think about it. And so I'm not knocking anybody for doing it, because I am just as guilty as the next person. I didn't take my own advice. I'm just realizing it now. And that's why I'm making this video. I think whenever I traveled over to Thailand and started going a couple years ago, I seen how happy I was over there. And now, I mean, a major difference. It wasn't like I was suffering depression here or any of that kind of nonsense. And I don't mean that detrimental. I know that's a real thing. But for me, it just wasn't, didn't have anything to do with that. I was just too busy and always trying to think of how to get ahead over here. More, more, more. And whenever I went over to Thailand, the first time was during COVID, and it was somewhat stressful because of all the restrictions. But I had actually never been so relaxed, and even more relaxed than if I'd go on a vacation here in the States. And I think it was because I absolutely had zero I had to do over there. I took like my phone to use as a video camera, and I had a set of my wireless microphones and some things to start doing some YouTube videos and take some pictures and just travel around and see some of the temples and kind of try to learn the culture, what I could learn. And I was only over there for about 3 weeks due to COVID, 3 or 4 weeks. I don't remember which now, but I digress. Anyway, the next time I went, I stayed for over 2 months. And same thing. I took 1 carry-on luggage and a old military backpack that had my camera gear, computer, things like that, so I could take some pictures, and I have a little drone I could fly and get video. And I was actually just at ease all the time. I never felt stressed. I never felt, worried or concerned. And then the minute I'd get back to the United States here, I'd have all of these payments and insurance bills and mortgage payments to make and lawns to maintain and all this other stuff. You get what I'm saying. So I think, and I've touched on this subject in other videos, but it's just been on my mind a lot lately, and I really want to stress this to you guys. because I want these to be helpful, these videos. I truly want them to be helpful to you. And if nothing else, I don't care if you agree with me, I just hope I plant some kind of a seed in your mind to get you thinking in a different direction. I feel like a lot of times in the United States, we're raised with this certain mentality that we always have to strive to get more and more and more, or we have anymore, they've got this handout mentality of just give me, give me, give me, and I don't want to do anything for it or work for it. You know, it's two complete polar opposites, and you know, neither of those work for a good life. You can't be a lazy person and expect to have a decent life of any kind. Yet, you can't just strictly strive for buying stuff, buying things. You know, putting yourself in horrible positions of debt with hundreds of thousands of dollars on homes and automobiles and insurances and jewelry and motorcycles and whatever else, you know, yachts you may spend the money on. You know, if you think about it, whenever you're over there, and I was over there, or you go someplace and you just really chill out a little bit and try to do a little simpler life, I think you'll be really surprised at how, after you kind of adapt and get away from the rat race, that you'll find that you just start really relaxing. And if you haven't ever relaxed in years, like I haven't, you find that kind of an amazing feeling. It just kind of shocks you. At first, you really don't know how to deal with it. I didn't. It was like I was doing something wrong. I felt guilty because I felt at peace and I felt relaxed and I felt like, you know, I'm enjoying myself too much here. What's wrong with this? You know, and some people go, oh, well, if I had $1 million or I had $1 billion. Well, guys, try watching the news sometime and look at a lot of these movie stars. Look at these people that have this, you know, millions and millions of dollars. A lot of them end up having either problems with alcoholism, they're drug addicts, they end up losing all their money, and then they don't know what the hell to do because they've always just had everybody waiting on them, so they've never developed any kind of skill set whatsoever. I mean, they couldn't, you know, grow a radish out in the field to feed themselves if they had to. They couldn't change the oil on their car. You know, they've always got to have somebody do for them, and they can't manage to do it on their own. You know, is that happiness? What happens? You know, what about the paparazzis that follow them around? What if you're a politician? What if you're Joe Biden or you're Donald Trump? I don't care whether you're right wing, left wing, doesn't matter to me. Both of them are filthy rich, and both of them got filthy rich off of the common man, and that's just a fact. You know, but think, are they really happy? You know, Trump is hounded constantly, and I mean constantly, by the left, and Biden is hounded constantly by the right on the other side. I mean, neither of these guys get a moment's peace. What about these politicians in office that are always stirring up drama? They're always fighting with each other, and they're always coming up with all this bullshit on each other. You know, and it's just dig, dig, dig. Let's pour salt in the wound, more salt in the wound. You know, if we would spend a little more time doing things in more of a positive manner and trying to get away from this and simplify. And I think that's where I get back to this minimalist stuff is, you know, I'm not saying you should not have anything or you shouldn't have a roof over your head or food. You know, I'm not carrying this to an extreme. What I'm saying is set yourself a positive goal. You know, and for me, that positive goal, once I traveled overseas, was, you know, I don't need all this crap. And I started looking around at everything, and though I'm still here in my one main home here in Missouri, you know, I've got it up on the market, and I'm going to do my best to sell it, though the market's kind of bad right now because of inflation and interest rates are up. So it makes it a little more unaffordable than what it was. But eventually it will sell. Real estate, you never lose money on most generally. So that being said, I can see to where things being far more minimal. I mean, I crave it is the best thing I can think of. Since I've been back here, I crave for the day I can go back, pack up my little action camera and my wireless microphones and my drone and my computer and get back overseas and go over this time maybe into Malaysia, go back to Thailand, of course, go into the Philippines. I want to go into Vietnam this time, and I want to get a whole lot of really cool videos and information for you guys on how to travel and what to do over there. So that being said, this was a little bit different video this time, you guys, and I hope you like it. I've got all kinds of content in my mind and things that I'm scheduling to do more about Thailand or other places, but I just couldn't get this out of my thought process. I want you guys to, those that watch this, like I said, I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm saying I just want to plant a seed and get you to think a little outside of the box. And that's quit just falling into this. I've got to go to work. I've got to promote. I've got to, earn more all the time. And see, what would it really truly take, excuse me, to make you happy? What kind of things would truly, when you look at things and the last time you used them, pick something, pick that computer, pick that motorcycle, pick that big expensive car you're driving. Is it really making that big of a difference? Is it bringing you that much happiness to get in a vehicle that costs $100,000 to drive down to the store when you could hop on a scooter, or if you're overseas, take a tuk-tuk for $3 and get to the same store? Is it bringing you that much warmth and happiness, and peace within yourself? Or is it just something that's just kind of a liability, a big monkey sitting on your back? You got to pay for all that insurance. You're worried about somebody scratching it. You've got people coming up they see you've got money, so they're trying to figure out ways to swindle you out of it. Just think about it. Think of all the different nuances and what's going on, and maybe it'll help you come up with another type of game plan, or maybe you'll go, maybe some of this stuff is really things that I don't really particularly use. Could I use that to take a trip? Say I want to go into Panama and see what it's like, or I want to go over, to Malaysia and see what it's like over there. There's lots of people out there that do what they call slow travel, and they travel around and they live a very fulfilling life. And it's almost a somewhat nomadic, but it's not. You're not necessarily going just all the time. It's slow travel. A lot of people do it, and they'll stay someplace a month or 2 months. And it's mainly, people that are retired, or if they can work digitally, or they're doing YouTube, that type of thing, or they've got retirement income. But the thing is think about that. Think of the possibilities of what you've got if you get rid of certain things, or if you minimalize what your debt is and money you've got coming in, if you're a retiree or if you're a digital nomad and you're earning online. Think about the possibilities whenever you go someplace that it costs 50% of what it costs in the U.S. You literally, if it's costing you $4,000 to live here a month, you could go to some of these other places for $1,400 to $2,000 and live in the same manner. What kind of doors is that going to open up for you? So that's pretty much it for this video. I do hope you enjoy it. Like I said, it was a little different, and I'm covering somewhat of the same topic, but I just felt like it was important enough. I really wanted you guys, I wanted to stress it and give you guys, I wanted to plant that seed. So this is Rick with the Excite channel. I'm going to say it one more time. Please like, subscribe, and ring that bell for me, guys. Thank you so much. Leave me comments, and if you're already overseas or you've traveled or you've had ideas like this, please comment and let me know. I always try to respond to everybody. So far, I've had nothing but really positive comments from you guys. I haven't seen anything I felt was negative, and I value everybody's opinion. So, guys, once again, Rick, and see you all soon.